regular season. James fouled, count it, and one. Leonard, Paul George goes to the lane and bats it home as Leonard goes inside and throws it down.
This is a playoff environment. I love the intensity.
Davis, a three-pointer. It's good. Drives, hop step in the paint to Davis for the slam. James drives, layup, count it, and the foul. LeBron James putting on the finishing touches.
It's yours. You deserve it, my friend.
Oh, hello there. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all had a fabulous weekend. If you like the NBA, you certainly enjoyed the weekend. That is, look at Greeny with his dramatic entrance, doing his walkout out of the tunnel, just like the players do.
Stephen A. wanted me to run. Then they tell me that I need to slow down. We've got all kinds of issues.
I didn't tell you to run. We need to settle something. Hold on.
I didn't tell you to run.
Are you a little bit out of breath?
No.
Okay.
Of course not. The kind of extraordinary physical condition that I am in to make it all this way.
Because you walked about 10 steps.
That was a good catch.
All right.
I'm okay.
Everybody have a good weekend?
We did. I did. I did. Nice.
How about that game yesterday? Let's get into it. We had an LA on LA battle Sunday at Staples, coming off a win over the Bucks on Friday. LeBron AD and the Lake Show kept that momentum going, beating the Clippers for the very first time this season. The Lakers are first in the West, 6 games up on the Clippers. JaVale McGee says the Lake Show's the best team in the world. And Max, Ric Flair has a message specifically for you. Can't wait for First Take tomorrow to watch Max humble himself as King James has slayed Giannis and Kawhi in the same weekend, looking as only he can to not just remain the king, but the greatest of all time. Woo! Go Lakers. That was high-pitched. I'm sorry for your ears, everyone. I tried my best. Woo! It's a little early for all that. Max, you still sure about those Clippers coming out of the West?
Yeah, I'm not changing my pick because of one regular season game. I'll say that LeBron had a great weekend. He beat Giannis and Kawhi. And if he is to do that in the playoffs and win a championship, then he has regained his throne. But make no mistake about it, he lost the throne already. He lost the throne. Well, it's to injury. That's true. So he didn't get to remind us last playoffs what he always seems to do in the playoffs, which is show there's distance between him and everyone else in the league. But in his absence, someone else stepped up, a guy who'd already won an MVP in the finals for the defense he played on, LeBron, when he was still a puppy. And then when he became a fully mature player, led the Raptors to a championship. Yes, of course the Warriors were hurt, and that's why. Were the Warriors not hurt? No one was going to beat them. They were too good. But Kawhi won finals MVP again. So that happened in LeBron's absence. That means the title is vacant. Kawhi took it by force. Just not against LeBron. Okay, so once I saw that and saw him kind of airdropped into a Clippers situation with Paul George in place of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari to a 48-win team, I thought, well, those are huge upgrades. Let's see how this works out. Sure enough, when they're at full strength, they almost never lose. They did lose to the Lakers one game. They've beaten them twice. Hats off to LeBron James for him to be doing what he's doing at this age is amazing. I don't think they can count on 24 points a night in a 7-game series from Avery Bradley. I don't think they can count on Lou Williams getting cold, Morris getting cold, the way they were yesterday for the Clippers. I like Kawhi Leonard, who I still think is the best player in the world, to do it when it matters most. I like the Clippers to win.
Your argument about the best player in the world, or specifically LeBron James losing his throne, has zero credibility coming out of your mouth, simply because LeBron James lost 2 NBA finals to Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and the Golden State Warriors, and you were still religiously calling him the best player in the world, even though he lost to them. But somehow, some way, when he loses to someone directly, you don't want to confiscate the crown from him. But when he's injured and Kawhi slide in, or when he's out of the playoffs with the groin injury and all of that stuff that happened last year with the Lakers, suddenly he lost his crown. Kawhi Leonard didn't beat Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was we all know what would have happened to the Toronto Raptors if Kevin Durant were healthy. Hell, if Kevin Durant was injured and Klay Thompson were healthy, I believe the Golden State Warriors would have beaten the Toronto Raptors. So let's get that out of the way. Now, when we look at the Clippers and we talk about them, listen, Talent-wise, in terms of how they're built, whatever, I don't knock Max or anybody else for calling the Clippers the favorite. I had to sit up there and modify my thinking, particularly when they acquired Marcus Morris and then they acquired Reggie Jackson. Now, the Lakers went out and did some things as well. I'm not sure Deion Waiters was the right guy because I don't view him as a point guard, but he is a guy that can score. He's got a lot of heart. He ain't scared. And he's a former teammate of LeBron James. And when they were teammates in Cleveland, Deion Waiters' first 2 years in the league, he averaged better than 14 points per game. So I think that he could do some things, even though I consider him to be a version of KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But again, that's neither here nor there. When you talk about the Lakers and the Clippers, I think that what we saw yesterday is a reminder of what the Lakers can do if they bring their game. Now, they'll have to do that to beat somebody like the Clippers. But to see both squads healthy, to see how formidable the Lakers are defensively, particularly in the interior, guarding the basket. I can't ignore that because especially LeBron James' willingness to post and attack the basket. When he does that, he's a different animal. The only last thing that I'll say is this. Kawhi Leonard, we all know he's all world on both ends of the floor. He's big time. The man had not one single assist yesterday. Not one single assist. Now, this cyborg, call him whatever you want to call him. But guess what? LeBron James ain't the only one that needs to bring his A game in order to deliver. Kawhi Leonard needs to bring his A game, too.
I think this probably did a lot for the Lakers' confidence as well.
Yes, it should.
Can I answer your question directly?
Yes, please.
The Lakers have been the team to beat for the championship from the moment they acquired Anthony Davis, and that was on full display yesterday. In any series they play, they will have two of the three best players on the court. And in most series, they will have the two best players on the court. LeBron James is without question the player you want on your team, regardless of what your other options are. You might want to give, I know that you would vote for Giannis for the MVP right now. I won't fight you on it, although I would vote for LeBron. But in a playoff series, there is no question I would take LeBron over him. Absolutely. And I would definitely take LeBron over Kawhi Leonard. And I will say this.
Over Kawhi.
Absolutely.
Yes.
LeBron
How
James?
come you're so confident?
Absolutely.
Because of his resume?
LeBron James is one of the 3 or 4 greatest players that ever lived and elevates when it matters. And I will say this, not only would Kawhi Leonard not have won the championship last year if Kevin Durant doesn't get hurt, he would not have gotten out of the East. Let me say that directly into that camera. He would not have gotten out of the East if LeBron was still in it. Toronto does not come out of the East. I don't care who they acquire if LeBron James
Kawhi
is
Leonard
still in
has already
Cleveland.
won an MVP in the finals over LeBron, specifically for the defense he played before Kawhi even knew how to play basketball.
So having Tim Duncan as a teammate doesn't really matter?
Well, now let's talk about teammates. Your point is ridiculous about the Warriors and not giving it to KD when you said it was a direct, because it was uneven. The Cavs were great, and so were the Warriors. But there are levels to this, as Meek Mill said. The Warriors were arguably the greatest collection of talent ever assembled. Meaning, just because KD's team beats LeBron's team in a head-to-head matchup doesn't mean KD's better than LeBron.
No. But you're misrepresenting my position. I'm not saying that you're wrong about that. I'm saying you refused. You refuse to give anybody credit over LeBron when LeBron lost.
Let me say why.
But LeBron is injured last year. You want to say it's confiscated
Fair
from him.
point. Fair
That's
point.
my point.
I will explain why. Eyeballs on that series, it was clear to me as well as KD played, LeBron was the best player on the floor. Both times. LeBron was better than everyone. KD closed the gap the second time, but LeBron was still best. First time, I don't think it was close. Now let's talk about what happened last year. LeBron, because he wisened up, realized I can't keep my foot on the gas the entire regular season and ball in the playoffs the way I want to as I age. So he took his time in the regular season. Other people could have regular season MVPs. He even
got
said
hurt.
it.
He had to
Steph,
grind.
KD, this, that. Hold on. Then in the playoffs, he could remind us what was there. At the age of 34, when he didn't get to show us in the playoffs and someone else had one of the great all-time playoff series in the history of basketball, that dude can't be
We don't view it
penalized.
that. First of all, we don't view it like that because, again, LeBron wasn't in the Eastern Conference. You had a situation where Kawhi Leonard is going up against a young pup in the Greek Freak. Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons weren't necessarily ready, and KD and Klay Thompson weren't available in the finals. So by virtue of that those realities alone, it wasn't the greatest thing that we've ever seen.
It's not a
That's the
perfect
whole
test.
point.
Can I just say one thing to support what you're saying? Right now, if I gave you could choose any player in the league you want to start your team going into this postseason, you would take Kawhi Leonard over LeBron?
Yes.
Would you?
Of course not.
I mean, not even
Of course
close.
not. It would be.
I can't
It would
believe
be
how bullish
LeBron.
you are on LeBron
Of course.
now. Okay.
I don't think
Of
being
course.
bullish on LeBron is a controversial position to be
No,
taken.
but I mean at this point in his career
Right.
versus Kawhi.
He
LeBron
balled out.
James. I
was
Listen,
surprised how
what he did over the
confident you
weekend is
have-
amazing. What he did over the weekend is amazing.
Mike,
But Molly's
No
right.
question.
Mike
But
Greenberg
they're
said
1 and
that
2 in the series.
Mike Greenberg said these playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
This year.
I
Not
heard
next
him.
year, 5 years.
I heard him.
These playoffs. Yes,
This
LeBron.
conversation
easily.
is to be continued, maybe even tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
Or
Good to
later
see
in the
you.
show.
Always watch Greeny. Yes, 8 to 10 on Get Up, Greeny and Laura. Good stuff. All right.